What if the reason your life hasn't changed yet is because your goals are too small, not too big? Be honest, when was the last time you set a goal that genuinely scared you? Not a comfortable goal, not a safe goal, not a goal you already knew how to achieve. A goal so big that your current mind could not fully explain how it was going to happen. A goal that not just stretched you emotionally, but a goal that literally made your stomach tighten. Because this is something Bob Proctor taught for years. He used to say, if your goal doesn't scare you, it's probably not a real goal. And honestly, most people never hear this. Most people set goals based on what feels realistic, what feels reasonable, what feels achievable from their current level of awareness. Maybe something they've done before, like, say, buying a new car. That's not a real goal because you already know what to do to get that goal. That's what's known as a safe goal. But goals don't transform people. Safe goals keep you emotionally trapped inside the same identity. Real goals demand growth. Real goals force expansion. Real goals require you to become someone different. And today, I want to talk to you about why so many people stay stuck for years. Not because they lack potential, but because they're being taught to play life too safely far too long. I'm John, and here at John Williams Global, we talk about mindset, manifestation, subconscious programming, self-image, wealth consciousness, and how to truly transform your life from the inside out. So, if that's your kind of thing, make sure you subscribe, because this channel is not about empty motivation. It's about understanding the hidden psychology behind success. Now let me tell you something that changed my thinking years ago. Most people don't actually have goals. They have preferences. And there's a huge difference. A preference says, well, that would be nice. A real goal says, I am becoming that person no matter what. That's a different energy entirely. When people set goals, they usually stay inside the boundaries of what feels emotionally comfortable. They ask, what do I think I can realistically do? But highly successful people ask a completely different question. What do I truly want, even if it scares me? That's where life starts changing, because the purpose of a real goal is not just to get the thing, it's to grow you. That's the part most people miss. The car isn't really the goal, the money really isn't the goal, the business isn't really the goal. The goal is who you become in the pursuit of it. The confidence, the discipline, the awareness, the courage, the self-image. That's the real transformation. And I'll be honest with you, there were periods in my whole life where I played smaller. In fact, I played a lot smaller than I should have. Even after moving from Liverpool to the United States, even after getting into business, even after experiencing success in different industries, there were still moments where I unconsciously stayed inside an old identity, my old self-image, because that's what paradigms do. It tries to keep you emotionally safe. Even if safe is frustrating, even if safe is keeping you broke, even if safe is keeping you stuck. And this is why people sabotage themselves, because the subconscious mind always wants to return to what feels familiar. That's why someone can say they want success, but unconsciously they feel uncomfortable with visibility, or with wealth, or uncomfortable with growth. So they start moving towards the goal and then somehow drift backward again. Not because they're lazy, but because their identity, their self-image of themselves has not caught up yet. Your results almost always mirror the picture you hold of yourself internally. And if that internal picture stays small, your life usually stays small too. That's why real goal setting should feel uncomfortable. In fact, if your goal feels completely comfortable, there's a darn good chance it's too close to your current reality. A real goal should stretch your imagination. It should challenge your current beliefs. It should force you to think differently. And yes, sometimes it should scare you a little. More than a little. It should really scare the bejeebers out of you. Now, I'm not talking about panic here, but expansion. There's a difference. Fear is often a sign that you've stepped outside the old identity. And honestly, that's where growth really begins. I remember years ago hearing successful people talk about earning amounts of money that felt completely impossible to me at that time. And my first reaction wasn't inspiration, I can tell you. It was total disbelief, because my subconscious programming had limits, like most people's do. But eventually, I realized something. The goal wasn't there to impress me. The goal was there to expand me. Now, that changes everything, because now the question becomes, who do I need to become to naturally create this result? That's a far more powerful question than how do I get it? And this is where visualization becomes so powerful. Not because it's magic, but because the brain responds to emotional imagining and repetition. Your nervous system responds to repeated pictures. Your subconscious responds to emotionally charged thoughts. This is why athletes mentally rehearse success. And this is why high performers visualize outcomes repeatedly. Meanwhile, most people rehearse fear every day. They rehearse the worst case scenarios. Bills, stress, failure, rejection, and then wonder why their energy never changes. Your mind moves towards the images you consistently hold. That's why vague goals don't create powerful results. Most people say, I want more money. Okay, how much? Doing what? Living where? By when? Who do you become when you achieve it? Because clarity creates emotional involvement, and emotional involvement creates movement. Now here's something practical I want you to do after this video. I want you to write down one goal that honestly scares you a little. Not a fantasy, not something ridiculous, but something beyond your current comfort zone. Something your current self cannot fully explain yet. Then ask yourself, if this actually became real, who would I need to become? What habits would change? What thinking would change? What standards would change? What beliefs would need to change? Because that's the real work. And this is why personal development matters so much. You don't force yourself into a new life. You grow yourself into one. And that's a completely different conversation. And maybe the reason for you that nothing has changed yet is because you've been trying to protect the current version of yourself while asking for a different life. But a different life usually requires a different identity, or self-image as it's also known. That's why real goals matter. Not because they give you something, but because they pull something out of you that's already there. Potential, ability, creativity, leadership, confidence, vision. That's what real goals awaken. So if this video connected with you, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and in the comments below, I want you to write one goal that genuinely stretches you. One goal that requires growth. One goal that your current self cannot fully explain yet, because that may be the exact goal capable of changing your life. And if you wanted to go deeper, check out my 7-module transformational program called Magnetic Manifestation. Because the truth is, most people are not held back by a lack of potential. They're held back by subconscious conditioning, old beliefs, fear, doubt, inconsistency, and the internal image that they've accepted about themselves for years. And that's exactly what this program is designed to help you change. Inside Magnetic Manifestation, I'll walk you step by step through the principles of identity transformation, emotional alignment, subconscious reprogramming, visualization, daily rituals, and success psychology. So you can begin becoming the version of yourself that naturally attracts greater success, abundance, confidence, opportunities, and fulfillment. This is not about wishful thinking or just trying to stay positive. It's about understanding how your mind really works, how your identity shapes your results, and how to create lasting transformation from the inside out. The program is deeply inspired by the teachings of Bob Proctor, Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, and the timeless principles of personal growth and success that truly change lives. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, if you know you're capable of more and you're ready to start thinking bigger, living bigger, and becoming more, check out Magnetic Manifestation by clicking the link below or visiting johnwilliamsglobal.com. And don't forget, to check out the other videos here on the channel. And remember this, small thinking creates small lives, but the moment you give yourself permission to think bigger, your entire future can begin changing. This is John Williams reminding you that your vision, your beliefs, and your emotions are shaping your future right now. Choose wisely, live abundantly, keep dreaming big, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
How are you on board?